And welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. So, you guys know my favorite interviews have to do with real estate and food. So, with me is Brett Nadler from Carmela Coffee.
Carmela Coffee Bar of Stewart.
Okay, so how long have you been around the industry first?
30 plus years.
Okay, what Carmela's? What is this? I mean, it's a coffee bar, but it's got to be more than just a coffee bar, right?
It is definitely more than a coffee bar. In actuality, we're really a casual dining restaurant. 50% of the items that we sell are food, and it's very good quality, gourmet food, very healthy, no fried food at all.
Okay, so my question to you is, when you say gourmet food, I mean sandwiches, hot meals.
We have sandwiches, we have flatbreads, avocado toast, salad, fresh juices, and most importantly, we have coffee that is sourced from our own farm in Costa Rica, a farm called El Comandante.
Okay, so my question then is, from what I know, which is very little, even though I'm older than dirt, you not just have coffee, you have all kinds of coffees, I would guess, right?
Yeah, we have the usual lineup of hot brewed coffee and all types of lattes, specialty drinks, and even frozen drinks as well.
Now you're getting me there. Frozen drinks got me in for that.
Okay.
I'm not a big coffee drinker, but you did buy me coffee, and it's going to get cold here, so I'm going to toss it in the microwave. So you're not like really a smoothie cafe type thing, right? That's not really your. Do you do smoothies? Are you going to do
We're going to be doing smoothies as well as frozen drinks, but what stands us out is the environment of the shop. The shop is a place, it's got soft seating, it has couches, it has upholstered chairs, it has high seating, stool seating, low seating. It's a place where you can come, and our tagline is, it's a place to come to be at home away from home. It's a very, very cozy environment. A lot of people come to our location or to Carmela locations and actually conduct business from there. They do interviews. Other people have friends, they meet, they stay an hour, they stay 2 hours. We have games that you can play if you wanted to play backgammon, chess.
Wi-Fi?
We have Wi-Fi, of course.
So I'm going to guess, and we were talking about this, and I'm not going to talk bad about anybody, but I'm going to guess that you are an upscale of the other ones.
I guess that would be a good way to put
Diplomatic
it.
of saying it. And
Diplomatically,
everybody knows
yes.
who I'm talking about. And without getting into detail, everybody complains about price point. Do you fall within a decent price point? Are you an upscale price point? I mean, where are you in the price point?
I'd say we're in the middle.
Okay.
We try to be
Well, you should be.
competitive, and again, it's different type of food.
Well, I get that, because in the other ones, you have a cabinet there, and it's just very basic stuff that's pre-made, and you don't have that.
No, everything is fresh ingredients at Carmela, and everything is made to order when you order it.
All right, so I'm going to guess that Carmela is a franchise?
It is a franchise, a fledgling franchise. The store that I'm opening in Stewart is only the 10th in the entire chain.
Why'd you choose that one?
It's an interesting story. My wife and I moved here from New York. It's been about a year.
What part of New York?
We were living on Long Island.
Okay, what part of Long Island?
Sayville.
Okay.
That's a small town
Yes,
in
I know.
Suffolk County.
Because I was a Brooklyn boy, and I hung out in Valley Stream, I hung out in Jericho and Hicksville area. So
Yeah.
I was in Long Island a bit, but I went the other way. I skipped over Staten Island and went to Jersey, and then finally here. Okay, so I'm sorry to interrupt you.
All right, so we came down here. I was undecided about what I wanted to do. So one day I went to a haircutting place on Glades Road in Boca, and I went in, and the girl said, I need about 20 minutes. Can you wait? I said, sure. She goes, there's a coffee shop next door. Why don't you go grab a cup of coffee? And I said, sure, I will. So I went into it. Next door was a Carmela Coffee Bar. I sat down. I ordered. I ordered some food. I ordered my latte, my iced latte. And as soon as I sat down, I just started looking around, and I saw a lot of people. Some people were there socializing. Other people were there, like I said, doing business, sitting on couches. Everyone looked so relaxed. The atmosphere inside was chill, very different than what I was used to in New York. And then my food came with my drink. I tasted the latte. I was just blown away by the quality of the coffee and the taste. And then I had ordered a flatbread, and the food was excellent. And I just looked around and I said, This is a really, really good business. And I wonder if they franchise." So sure enough, as I'm getting up to go out to get my hair cut next door, I look on the door, and there's a sign that says franchising and a number to call. And that's
And
where I
everything
am
happens,
right
and
now.
everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go home and you tell your wife, and did she want to kill you and say, "What are we doing?" Or did you get support and she was in from the get go?
Well, by that time we had been in Florida a while, and my wife was working. She's a teacher, and she knew I needed direction. You know, there's only so much golf and working out you can do. So she was happy I found something that I liked.
You know, I always say, in order to be successful in a business, you have to have family support. Like, I started this industry, it wasn't an industry, and if it wasn't for my wife, because my mom didn't support it, but she was older already, and she had no clue. Most people said, "Don't be stupid, get a real job, it's a pipe dream." This industry didn't exist. You know, we were pioneers of Skype and Zoom. But I had my wife's support, and that helped me get to where I'm at. Did your wife, so I'm guessing that your wife was supportive. One is because it gave you something to do and kept you out of trouble.
Well, she was very supportive because when I met my wife, she was working in the same industry as I was.
Oh, okay.
So nobody understands this industry better than my wife. She knows what it takes, and she understands the time and commitment involved to do this type of business.
Well, it's a food industry, so it's a lifestyle, not a career.
Yeah, it is kind of a lifestyle. It takes up a lot of your time. You have to be passionate about it, and I am. And my wife was fully supportive about it.
What are your hours? Do you know what your hours are?
We're going to be open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to start, and once we get the staff trained and bench, strength tested, we're probably going to open up until 9. And we're also going to be doing things at night. Like I'm going to another Carmela Coffee bar on Tuesday for an open mic night. So this is something you could do in the evening to bring people in, have a
Right.
good time. We also have a very nice area we can have in music. My thoughts are is to bring in a person who might want to play. And also, I've seen in other Carmelas, I've seen mahjong tournaments,
Oh, huh.
canasta tournaments, parties. If people wanted to rent a place for the evening, it's a really, really nice venue for a small party.
You're bringing to Florida something that we had up north forever, and I never find it here. And that's that at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, I just want to go have a cup of coffee and maybe a dessert and maybe listen to some music. We don't have that here. What are you going to do, go to Perkins? Okay, I mean, really. Not that Perkins is bad, but I want to go that focuses mainly on the basics, have a good cup of coffee, have a dessert, maybe listen to music, and they've very few of them down here. Very few. Some in Palm Beach County, I found a couple, but when I moved up here, there was like nowhere. It's like we came home from something and it was like 7 o'clock, and we said, we don't want to go and sit down and have a whole 3-course meal. We just want to pick at something, have a cup of coffee. For me, because I'm a chocolate fanatic, a piece of chocolate cake. For Vicky, it would be key lime pie, okay? Or it would be some sort of appetizer, some like flatbread, something simple. There's not, you don't find that here. Everybody's pushing you for other stuff, and it was just too much because we already just came from dinner. You know what I mean? So that's really good, especially if you have music. And I'm not talking about headbanging music. That's for another place. Just something where you can sit and talk to whoever you're with, listen to some music, and eat some good food and have some good coffee, or in your case, I'm guessing you're gonna have tea.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
fresh brewed teas,
Yep.
hot and cold. Um, you're not the first person since the store has been under construction, and I've come into contact with a lot of people in Stewart, both people who own businesses themselves or live in the area, and they've actually told me exactly what you just said.
That's because they all come from up
That
north.
yeah,
We all come from up north.
they're looking for a place to go in, sit down, chill on a couch, maybe look at their computer, look at your phone, or just converse with other people and, nosh on something, nosh on a muffin, nosh on a piece of cake, have a nice cup of coffee.
Uh,
That,
I totally get that. The only thing that I would disagree is because you said look at their computer, look at their phone, and or converse with somebody. It should be converse with somebody. We don't do that anymore. We need to start doing more of that. And I'm a big abuser of that too. We have a couch at home, and my wife's on one side, I'm on the other side, and we're on our phones. You need to learn to put that away and talk. And we all talk all the way. When we go, anytime we're in the car, almost always we don't put on the radio. We talk. The computers are a blessing and a nightmare, and a curse.
I agree.
So you have, for lack of a better word, from what I'm getting, you have different venues within your place. Meaning, this has couches. This has.
Yeah, there's areas.
Mhm.
You can sit down in an area and claim it as your own. And,
How big is the space?
the space is 2,500 square feet.
Oh,
It's pretty big.
This
and-
is 20. This is 2,000, and this is big. That's big.
Yeah, that's big. And we also have an outdoor patio.
In the back.
No, in the front,
Okay.
right out in front,
Okay.
where we're going to have, a whole outside setting with tables, chairs, and some soft seating as well, and umbrellas. And there'll be music out there as well.
Today, in our world, this is a good day to start because we're finally getting decent weather now. Okay, today's a beautiful day. It's why we moved to Florida. Okay, not for so much for all the heat and stuff. Okay, so do you? I want to make sure I get this right. Do you? No fried food, so there's no fryers there.
There's no fryers.
Okay, do you stove cook anything?
Yes, we do have omelets.
Okay,
We make them to order, any way you want them. We have a lot of fresh ingredients and meats that can go into it. And so we do have small stoves, and we also have ovens to bake the bakery products and heat products as well.
are you going to have cakes and pies?
Absolutely.
Are you going to have soups?
No soup.
Okay, I'm just kind of curious.
It might be something seasonal.
Right.
Again, that also depends on the franchise. And I think that they
That's
did
true.
have a soup offering at some point last year as we got into, well, not much colder weather, but people might decide they want to have some soup.
It's funny because I had soup yesterday, and I'm not a big soup eater, but it was really good. And the thing with soup is it's so filling. Most soups are really filling. So, when you first said that people come and stay for an hour or so, and it was like I was kind of taken back by that, but because I only thought you had like 1,500 square foot place, but you have plenty of room there.
Absolutely. Yes.
Um, I guess because it's a franchise, it's a standard menu, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do they change it? Do you know?
They change it seasonally. Also, on the bakery items that we sell, we do have some latitude in bringing in things that might appeal to people in this area
Right.
as opposed to area. So on the bakery items, there's some latitude, and I'm also, entertaining the thought of bringing in some local things that people like, items that, would be just clearly defined by our menu here in Stewart.
Right. Well, a lot of places, buy and use local honey, because we have the ability to have that here, and it's always good to use local people. And I say that because he's opening up in Stewart, and you're going to be opening up in Port St. Lucie, okay? But it's a blessing to utilize local businesses, because they're the ones that keep your whole area running the way it should run. And the sad part is a lot of small businesses end up using big businesses instead of somebody who falls in the same line as them. And it's interesting because we lose sight of why we are an entrepreneur. And my philosophy has always been the same. If you're an entrepreneur, you're a little crazy. And if you're an entrepreneur with a brick and mortar, you're a lot more crazy. And if you're an entrepreneur with a brick and mortar and you're in the food industry, oh, forget it. Okay? That food space is brutal. And, you know, my wife's in the food space. We don't have a brick and mortar for it, but I have a brick and mortar here. People just don't understand what it takes to run a brick and mortar, you know. But we'll get at the top of time. How do people find you? Have the address of where you're going to be?
Yes, we're located at 2644 Southeast Federal Highway, and we are right next to a local car wash and a local diner.
And Forever Young.
And Forever Young
Because
Spa,
because
right next
they're in the
door.
chamber with me, and you're in the chamber with me now.
Yeah.
So one of the concerns that I always have when a new business opens, and I'm curious if it's a concern for you, is parking. Is parking a concern for you?
Oh, we have a tremendous amount of parking.
You do?
There is parking in front of the building, upwards of 80 spots, and there's also parking behind the building
is there?
and on the side.
Okay, see, I didn't know that.
So parking is definitely something that we have a lot of, and yes, that's a very good thing. I'm
Yeah,
very
no,
happy.
that could make or break a place. And there's places that I go to that have no parking.
I've been to some as well.
And if there's no parking, I just pull out and go somewhere else, because I can't deal with that. How do people find you? I'm guessing that you have a heavy presence on Facebook.
Yes, I do have a Facebook page. It's called Carmela Coffee Bar of Stewart. And if you want to see more about the menu, you can go to our main online page, which is carmelacoffee.com.
You have a phone number?
The phone number of the store,
Do you know it by
I
heart?
don't
You
know
don't need
by
to know it
heart by
because it's on
now.
screen. So
Okay.
you don't need to know. So you don't really need to know. It's funny because we're not like we used to be. We don't remember phone numbers anymore because everything's
I
programmed into the
I
phone.
gotta look at my phone.
Yeah,
All
everything.
right, I could barely remember my wife's number. But one thing I want to say though, since I've been interacting up here, I've met some incredible people in Stewart. Right now, my wife and I are living in a condo down in Delray. We're renting. We're not only going to be a business in the community. The plan is for me and my wife, once we open the business, we're going to be looking to move up here. We like it so much in this area. We haven't decided on Stewart or Port St. Lucie yet, but we are definitely moving up this way.
It's interesting because I started in Boca, and I lived in Delray. My business was in Boca. I bought a condo in Green Acres, which I still have, and we were driving back and forth, but we loved it up here so much that we moved up here.
I see why.
Okay, and I don't want to be mean, but it's getting so crowded with traffic.
Exactly, and that's why I want to move up. One reason why I want to move up here.
Yeah.
It's not as crazy the traffic as it is in Delray and Boca.
Okay, Carmela's, is it Toast and Coffee Bar?
Carmela Toast and Coffee Bar.
Right. Everybody, check them out, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
All right. Hey.